Yo, who's watching? I've got one viewer. I'm just gonna wait for. I should probably should have scheduled this really. But, yo, Rohan, what's up, bro? You got 3 viewers. I'll wait for it to get to 5 and then I'll start. I'll give it like 2 minutes. If it doesn't get to 5, I'll just start. Yo, Forrest, what's up, bro? Just watching things. Yeah, it'd be like that. Oh, this tier list is pretty like. I mean, most of them are just versions of Bruce Banner Hulk, but I don't think I'll add them. I don't know. I'll think about it. If y'all want it, I'll do it. But I did put out a tier list on it earlier in the week. You want to watch the Flash movie? I don't think I'll go and watch it. I think I will watch it though. Like I'll probably acquire a version of it. May or may not be illegally. I don't know. I'm a bit excited to see what they do with General Zod and what the scaling's a bit like, because I'm a scaling fucking goon. Come to see you cook? Well, let's get in the kitchen then. So, we lost a viewer. I will. Alright. So, I'm gonna start off strongest. So, we got the boy himself, Big Hulk. So, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up to date with Hulk comics. But as of recent, the final issue of Donny Cates' and Ryan Otley's run, he basically one-shot Titan. This dude. And Titan was going to be enough to. Basically, Banner implies that if these two were to fight, they would have destroyed everything. And obviously, at the time, Hulk was able to also fight. Savage Hulk was also able to fight Hulk out Thor. So, the fact that these two would have been relative, and all 3 of these would have been relative at the time, and then Hulk in the Mindscape basically just one-shots Titan. Now the stuff in the Mindscape, it's all mental, right? But it should be for Hulk. It should be representative of what how strong he is in the real world, because obviously his power, his emotions and mentality directly kind of have an effect on how strong he is. So. They directly correlate to one another. So yeah, he just one shots Titan. Bit anticlimactic, but the run was cut short. So I'll just take this off. 4 directly under that again. There's a one shot gap between these two now. And then where is he? What the hell? Okay, Spider Hulk fights I think it's level 5 Starship Hulk, and he's basically winning. And then Hulk goes up a level, or Banner goes up a level, increases Hulk's strength, and then just a one shot gap. So another one shot gap between these two, and then. now we've got so these are pretty much just all of the current Hulk run, the big dudes, and then we go into like the Immortal Hulk run peeps. So let me just get all these up. This isn't in the order, I'm just getting them on the list. RP. Should be there. It should be there. It should be there. Okay, so A, the leader. Basically, it is a bit weird because the leader doesn't think that he could fight Hulk directly. Hence why he like creeps into the mindscape and just like, just basically, he cannot change his appearance to like other Gamma mutates, and he like appears as Green Scar Hulk, and tricks Savage Hulk into thinking like, you know, he's the actual personality, and goes ahead and just like locks up Devil Hulk and Joe Fixit. But in a direct fight, it doesn't seem like he can actually do anything to at least Devil Hulk, and they said the persona's ready, because when he like interacts with them in the mindscape, a lot of the time they are not at a level of anger where, or there are a level of anger where they could just fuck him up. So, for instance, Savage Hulk, because he keeps appearing as Brian, his dad, Savage Hulk just keeps acting like a child towards his father. And then when he actually kills Devil Hulk he's in a moment of like calm, because Savage Hulk restrains him. He's like, nah, don't kill Dad and all that. And he's like, oh bruh. And then Leader takes that time to just like chop him up basically. So, I mean, really, if you want to say he's like a baseline Hulk, but then he has like, access to the green door. But if we're just going off who's strongest, then he should be down here. But see, this bitch, she just completely, she's from Immortal Hulk Flatline, which is it is a, what's it called? Kind of like a side story, if you will. And she's basically one of Bruce's college professors who also studied gamma radiation. And she pretty much has like gamma-based telekinesis. And the crazy thing about this is that she fights Devil Hulk, and she hits him so hard that he goes into the below place, which is wild. And no other character on this list has that kind of thing. The only reason why these two are separated is because, like, based on the synopsis for issue 1 of Donny Cates's Hulk run, they say, and I did mention this in one of my old videos, that Hulk's rage has reached an all new level. So I think that he should be Starship Hulk would be like a tier between these two, like at least even in base. So she's just stronger than like, I guess, base Devil Hulk. Because the strongest one we see him is in the Mindscape when he like breaks out of the prison when Banner's in danger. But yeah, that's let me see what people are saying. Spider-Man became a Hulk. Wouldn't he be stronger than normal? Okay, so Spider-Man has turned into a Hulk about 3 times. There was once in Classic. He was exposed to gamma radiation and cosmic rays by the Leader and MODOK in World War Hulks. In which, like, he fights Thor, kind of, but he gets his ass kicked like Hulk at Thor. And then he turns into a Hulk in Immortal Hulk Great Power, which is another, like, kind of like one-shot side story. And no, he's not as a Hulk, he's not stronger than normal Hulk, even though you think he would be, because obviously the base of Bruce Banner and the base of Spider-Man are like completely different. Like, Spider-Man's way stronger than Bruce. But no, he kind of, like, Spider-Hulk gets knocked out by, like, the Thing, and base Thing isn't all that. Like, when Thing has the ability to get stronger through, like, motivation amps, as stated by Dr. Doom, But here he was just like very casual and just like Chaos Spider-Man. Spider-Hulk is cursed. Yeah, he's very very cursed. This one's more cursed because he has like actual spider legs and all that shit. Anyway, so now we're on to the dudes in B. So Weapon H, it's odd. It is weird. So you have Superior Hulk, and this is basically Otto Octavius or Doc Ock possessing the body of Hulk, pretty much. And it should be Devil Hulk because they reference him as like the Immortal Hulk, and he was only called that in the Immortal Hulk run. Like he was called that once in that run. And they say that like he's tamed the Hulk, and based on how, because basically it's the same process he does to Spider-Man in Superior Spider-Man, but he does it to like Hulk, Wolverine, and Ghost Rider from different universes. But anyway, based on how Hulk works, how that process works, he would have gotten rid of Banner, but he wouldn't have gotten rid of Hulk because they're separate personalities, pretty much. So he would have tamed him in the sense that, like, pretty much how Banner's consistently more so tamed Hulk. Sure, they fight for control sometimes, but the fact that Banner has like such good control on him most of the time I would say fits the definition of tame. So he would just be like a calm Hulk, considering like he never gets angry in his appearances either. Him and Abomination, they have like one double page spread where like they're implied to have like clashed, but you never actually see it. But because Abomination is above Calm Hulk, I will put him above just for the sake of it. And the fact that like he also just like shits on like Scar and like Sasquatch and all them in a Gamma Flight, the Gamma Flight. Okay, now Red She-Hulk, she doesn't really do all that much as like the Harpy. She basically just tears in half the Abomination like skin graft suit that General Fortune makes. Now that is more than Hulk does when he punches it, but obviously there's like a bit of a split durability thing because she has like giant talons, so she's able to just like tear it in half easy. I'm sure if Hulk wanted to, he could just like rip it in half with his bare hands, but he doesn't. He punches it instead. Other than that, what does she do? I think she's overpowering Captain Marvel until Captain Marvel gets distracted. But I would say that like because she at least in the Incredible Hulk's run, like her anger and Bruce's anger are like pretty much meant to be like the same level, hence why they can fight in the Dark Dimension at the end of that run. So I would say that, plus the fact that they were both able to like kind of like beat up the skin graft of Abomination. She should at least be like down here. And again, the leader's like weird. I mean, he just kind of like slap Savage Hulk around in the Mind Escape, but he against Savage Hulk wasn't like mad or anything. But there is that thing where Savage Hulk tries to like destroy the chains that hold in Devil Hulk, and he enhances them because he's the one that made them. He enhances them and like makes them too strong for Savage Hulk. So again, I think that would probably warrant enough for like Calm Hulk tier, and the fact that no, that's enough. And then Weapon H has the AP to just like hurt all these guys easily because of his adamantium claws, but I don't think physically he's as strong as Devil Hulk was either. Because like I mean they go back and forth, but then Devil Hulk just kind of like implies that he was just joking around, and just catches his fist, and then just kind of just drains his gamma radiation. But this guy also had like a gamma like a flu that was specifically designed to affect gamma mutates by the leader. But he's also his gamma radiation comes from where is he? From Cho. That's how they made him in like the rest of Batch H. He's just like the successful experiment. So I mean, these lot should be same tier really. And the fact that Hulked out Cho was like about to kill Namor, or like he implied to about to kill Namor in Agents of Atlas, and Namor at that time like just like basically no sold a punch from Immortal She-Hulk, who like again relative to all these guys, so I'd put him like at the top of this tier. Let me see what Chad's saying. Semi-related, but Chad, with the Hulk rights potentially leaving Universal to go back to Marvel, do you think we could get to see a new Hulk solo movie? What story would you like to see adapted? Okay, I have spoken about this to my friends a few times. But well, first off, we're basically just going to get like Captain America 4 is basically going to be a Hulk movie. It's going to be World War Hulks pretty much, but just like in its own way. You know, I'd imagine that that's part of it. But as for my own movie, I think that Civil War, if they were to do Civil War 2, well, no, if they were to do it, I would have it be like a Age of Ultron kind of movie where the events are significant, but they're not like the grand scheme of things. You know, I mean, like Age of Ultron, it was and kind of wasn't the grand scheme of things in Phase 2. Like, it was the grand scheme of things in the sense that, yeah, you know, as Marvel had established, at the end of every phase, never going to get an Avengers movie, at least, you know, up to Phase 3. But grand scheme of things, I mean, like all these events were happening just for Age of Ultron. You know, they were all building up to that. Whereas, like, you know, Phase 1, you have all these heroes having their origin movies, so we can establish, okay, we're going to get the Avengers meeting up for the first time in Avengers. Whereas, like, Age of Ultron is like, okay, look, this is, like, all these characters, like, the villains, Vision, you know, these are all new, these were all made in that movie. So I would have Hulk kind of be, this movie kind of be a similar thing. In the sense that it would take kind of implementations from different things, I guess, different Hulk comics. I'm thinking specifically World War Hulk, Incredible Hulk, Volume 2, issue 299 and 300. Basically, when Mindless Hulk first appears after he gets influenced by Nightmare and he like fights Thor and the Avengers, and Civil War 2. Now, Civil War 2 would be the whole kind of like political stuff around it, you know, that would kind of help implement, have a more bigger focus on people like Captain America and Captain Marvel and such. And then World War Hulk and Incredible Hulk, issue 300 and 299 would be the whole, you know, okay, Hulk is that dude kind of thing. Because I don't think we have I don't think that's established much anymore. It definitely was in Phase 1 and 2. Like, Hulk is definitely the strongest in those two phases when it comes to heroes. I think it would be hard pressed. You'd be hard pressed to argue that any other hero could beat Hulk at that time, up to Age of Ultron, and then and plus he's just stated it on multiple times to be the strongest. And then in Phase 3, obviously you have Ragnarok, where Thor gets he like realizes his true power and such. And then obviously Thanos kind of like beats his ass and whatever. But I think you can have Hulk definitely just get so angry where you have like a World Breaker-esque level, and then the everything else kind of fits into place then. And I would just have it be where like they don't kill Hulk, but Doctor Strange BFRs him. He either BFRs him, or they like do what they did in World War Hulk, where he gets so angry they just drained his gamma radiation from him after he let them, and then put him in a cell, like a gamma base cell, and then maybe bring him back later on. But I would have it end with like, because like they keep hyping up Captain Marvel to be at least the physically strongest, and being as we don't have a Sentry yet, she would fit the bill, I guess, as like this big flashy hero who shoots energy blasts and such. And she has like a hard counter to Hulk as well, like Sentry does, but rather than like an aura that calms him down, it would be her energy absorption. And obviously Hulk is an energy based hero, like he uses that to transform. But yeah, that's. I mean, it was a bit long winded, but yeah, I had a decent amount of thoughts on that. Frosty, are you looking forward to Death Island and the return of John Clairwood? Okay, so looking forward, I'm not looking forward because like it depends if they have like some good hand-to-hand fight scenes. I think like Vendetta, as goofy as that, like the final Glenn versus Chris fight is, the hallway scene with Leon and Chris where they kind of go like John Wick-esque with like the gun fu, it goes hard. And Glenn, like when he's slapping around Chris in their first meeting, he's kind of cool as well. But the reason why, seeing all of the main protagonists meet up, that would be cool. I know we're getting that, but them not using Jill's RE5 model I'd imagine is because, well, they're trying to kind of like link everything into the remakes now. They're trying to establish that as like main canon, even though it was implied to be a separate universe in a interview talking about Resident Evil 4. So they're using Jill's RE3 model, and they said in like a official synopsis for the characters that Jill, because of like her exposure to the viruses in the past and like the cures, that she's basically got extremely slowed aging. She's pretty much gonna look like that for a majority of the series now. Did you like the MCU Hulk movie? What MCU Hulk movie? Oh, I don't know why I asked that. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, Incredible Hulk. Yeah, but it felt a bit unbalanced. I know that Edward Norton and the director wanted to do a character study similar to Iron Man, but Kevin Feige and like Marvel wanted a like Michael Bay kind of Hulk smashing. But I think it has one of the best fight scenes in the MCU, with Abomination and Hulk at the end. I genuinely think that's one of the best. It's probably most representative of like an actual Hulk scene, like a Hulk, what a Hulk fight scene should be, next to the Hulk versus Hulkbuster scene fight in Age of Ultron. But yeah, Avengers 1 Hulk peaked. Yeah, I'd agree with that. If you could have wrote the Thanos versus Hulk fight, would you change anything or keep it the same? I would change it. So the Russos say that Thanos is as strong as the Hulk before the movie came out, like when they were like talking about him being like the Genghis Khan of the universe and such. But then in the movie, he just kind of like plucks up Hulk's arms and just picks him off him. Now, what he does to Hulk is the way he peels his arms off. That is a like martial arts move. But you would still need a sufficient amount of strength, especially in that position that Thanos was in. To like actually move Hulk and all that, especially when like he's obviously resisting. So I do think MCU Thanos was a bit stronger in that scene, but I would have it to where Hulk is just stronger and Thanos can't do, like, he still uses the Power Stone to get a physical amp, or like blast Hulk away to daze him or something like that, or Hulk's so dazed after that like he can't really put up a fight. And then, or have him do martial arts, which is like what they were trying to hammer in. Like he's this like just like really good fighter. Maybe he does like a jiu-jitsu, like just some ground game or something, like ankle picks the fuck out of Hulk or some shit. I don't know. But I would say that Thanos definitely felt like Hulk was a physical threat to him in that scene, because obviously, yeah, Hulk does surprise him, but he's hitting him so hard in the scene that you can hear Thanos like grunting through the armor and such. And then afterwards, when he actually gets into like back on his feet, he like a nerve hits Hulk in one of his nerves, like pressure points him before he interacts with him, and like you see like Hulk wail in pain, and then like he can't move. I think it's his left arm properly. So I would say, yeah, he probably thinks Hulk is a physical threat, but in that scene, I think that Thanos was a bit stronger. But that's how I would judge it. I would have it to where like there isn't just a Thanos is blatantly stronger. And that's just how it is in the comics. Like Thanos and Hulk have never had a physical, let's say straight up physical confrontation where Thanos has won. He's always used like energy blasts or a form of hacks, like mind hacks, or he's always been uber-amped by like the Infinity Gauntlet and beaten Hulk that way. In fact, so if you look at Hulk versus Thanos, the actual run, they call it that, but they only like fight once. And it's in that simulation now. It's a mental simulation. Thanos shouldn't be representative of his power level really there, but Hulk and Banner should be. Now Banner just say that Thanos is weaker than Hulk in that. And then when they team up, they start to beat Thanos' ass, but then Thanos uses energy projection to beat them. And then in Infinity, where the Avengers pull it back to Earth again, Hulk jumps at Thanos, and Thanos punches him away. But then in the panel that you next see Hulk, when he's on the ground, he's smiling. And then he comes back, and obviously he gets beaten by Proxima Midnight, and Corvus. Proxima Midnight out-hacks him. But there's a comic, I think it was Avengers Mech Strike or Monsters Unleashed or something like that. It was a recent one. It's just like it's an Elseworld really, but Thanos basically fights Hulk, and Thanos is pretty much like, yeah, I've never like been your equal in physical strength. Like I've never been able to run your fade that long because you just get stronger, without an amp or without some cosmic bullshit. But now I've got like this amp that I can beat you with, and such. But there's actually a guidebook that came out recently that said that Thanos can rival Hulk in strength, but that to me is just like, okay, if Hulk is, at a quote-unquote baseline level, then sure, Thanos can run his fade, but if Hulk gets angry, then, things are going to get tough for Thanos. If it's just a straight-up physical brawl, if Thanos uses energy projection or his hacks, then yeah, no doubt, then Hulk's going to, have a tough time and pretty much lose. And that's how a lot of the writers see it as well. Like Al Ewing, he said in multiple interviews, he's like, the reason why a lot of the fights you see in Immortal Hulk aren't just straight up brawls is because that to me is boring, because Hulk is the strongest one there is. Obviously that's a bit hyperbolic because we know that, physically, for it to fight like the Living Tribunal, he'd get popped in his skull. But yeah, he found it a bit boring. So there's a bit more. The fights are a bit more complex, especially like Zemnu like mind hacks him and all that good stuff. Must be impossible. But do you think having Edward Norton around? No, I don't think they need to. Edward Norton again is like, it isn't a separate continuity with Edward Norton. It's the same timeline, and they even hammer that in the episode of What If. I think it's episode 3 where like Hank Pym is killing the Avengers, and it takes place during Fury's big week, which is like Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, and Thor all take place in the same week, and in it's the university scene with Betty and Banner where he like hooks out and fights Ross and the military with the sound cannons, and they just replace Edward Norton with Mark Ruffalo. Eric Banner, I could have sworn that he said that he didn't want to come back. I think so. Yeah. I just don't think. I don't know, the Toby and Andrew thing. I feel like those movies meant a lot more to people, which is understandable, than Hulk means to really, like, Hulk 2003 really meant to anyone. You can watch I haven't actually watched the deleted scenes. I'll have to watch them, 'cause I'm sure they'll tie the movie together better. Do you think Abomination would have done better against Base Thanos, since he's stronger than Base Hulk and he's far more intelligent and skilled, at least before Professor Hulk? Okay, so to clarify, the MCU says the way of thinking about it. Well, so the thing about Abomination is that, yeah, he retains his intelligence, and he should just have shit stomped Hulk really more than he was. But the thing is that this is what I like about the final fight of Hulk, is that there is just a blatant what's the word, duality, I guess. They basically reverse the roles of Abomination, like Blonsky and Banner / Hulk reverse. Tony, yeah, I do think Ana de Armas is worth losing a leg over. But they basically reverse. Abomination is meant to be this guy who is this very well-rounded, decorated soldier who uses everything in his arsenal to take down his enemies, and Hulk is just meant to be this raging, like, monster, right? But at the end of the movie, you see that Abomination is just relying on, Valencia's just relying on power and strength, whereas Hulk has to rely on more than just strength. Like, you see him, he mixes stuff up. He uses like the cars as boxing gloves, and like he's like pivoting around Abomination and shit. Like, that shit goes super hard. And then he uses the thunderclap, and then he, like, to beat Abomination solidly, he like breaks the ground underneath him, so the Abomination's footing gets fucked. So he's a lot more tactical in that fight than he is in, I think, a lot of pretty much any other of his appearances in the MCU, which is definitely more faithful to the comics, I think. Because I don't know, it just feels like later on they just think Hulk's just like this big punch kind of thing, when he's not. He's an extremely unpredictable fighter that knows how to use the environment to his advantage a lot of the time. If Abomination did use skill, I definitely think he would have killed Hulk. But so obviously Abomination's above like a relatively calm Hulk, in the same manner that Thanos is. I don't think Hulk was like furious in Infinity War at the start. I think he was mad, but like again, he's always some level of mad. If he's not, he's just going to turn back into Bruce. And Joss Whedon actually said this in a director's commentary for Avengers when Hulk and Thor are fighting, is that there's two sides of Hulk. There's two Hulks in Bruce. Not in the sense that they're two separate Hulk personas, but there are two sides to the one Hulk persona. There's the Hulk that that's chill and wants to help his allies, that you see help at the end of the movie, that's defending Earth. And there's the Hulk that you see on the helicarrier that is absolutely just spurging out and doesn't want to help anyone, despite the fact that Thor tries to like talk him down and all that. And I think what we got was we got the first one pretty much, which was just like this kind of, he's a bit angrier but he's not furious yet, which is how Thanos is also just able to just like take him down so easily. So the Abomination probably would have done a bit better, but the thing is about like him later on, it's weird because like they imply that like he's lost his skill and shit. Like Wong in Shang-Chi's like, yeah, you don't know how to pull your punches and stuff, and he's stupid enough to go for like a pretty blatant, like he goes to punch Wong again, and he just like goes for a portal and knocks himself out, which is was just like a bit fucked. I don't know. I didn't really like the. I mean, he's just a jobber, really. That's how it be. But that's comic accurate. So, what can you do? Anyway, back onto this list, bruh. All right, so you got all these dudes, and then let me stop this because whoa, like two new tiers. Okay, so here we got Brian Banner when he's turned into Devil Hulk, or not Devil Hulk, sorry, Guilt Hulk, my bad. And basically he just like completely annihilates, I use this term loosely, base Green Scar Hulk. This is always just pretty self-explanatory. So, and then you have Comp Hulk, which is just Red Hulk. It's just like Impossible Man pretty much merged Green Scar with Red Hulk. And there's a statement that like it did like combine their power, so it should just be like those two mixed together. The thing is though, is that like Green Scar casually negged Red Hulk during the events of World War Hulks. Like they had like a bit of back and forth, and then like Green Scar just casually one shot him with a thunderclap. But I'll put him there just because he should just be, decently stronger than, just a bit decently stronger than, because there's also the guy that they fight, Claw, was stated to be a perfect opposition for Hulk. The thing is though, is that Zemnu's knowledge on how strong Hulk at that time would be is a bit so maybe this is fair enough considering how bad like he beats Hulk's ass. Because he's just like treated as stronger than Abomination as well, and Abomination was also like kind of, for the most part, beating up Green Scar Hulk as well. Which again, Chaos War Abomination, and Abomination at that time as well was just stated to be like the strongest. Was just stated to be the strongest prisoner in the underworld. Which in a synopsis is like clarified to be Hades, and that would include Zeus as well, which is pretty fucking nutty. And obviously, as you see, Zeus is also capable of beating up a base Green Scar. And yes, it is. I say base. What I mean is calm. And yes, it is a calm Green Scar because it's a statement that unless he's in World Breaker, he is just generally calm. So these two, and then below that we have Red Hulk and Scar. Let me see, D, E, and F. Now the thing about Red Hulk and Scar is, funny thing is that these two never fight. They like debuted around the same time, and they were big like pivotal characters in Banner's arc, like up until Incredible Hulks. After World War Hulk. But they never actually fight. It's just the crazy thing. But anyway, so base Scar is actually sub Savage Hulk. Like he's actually just like he's relative to like Doc Green in strength. I'd say relative but below. And Doc Green's like a base, like pretty much base Savage Hulk. Like he's unwilling to get angry and stuff. And they also say like the only way he harms Savage Hulk when they first meet is by stabbing him with one of his like Sicarian sword and everything. And there's a statement that like everything on Sakaar is stronger than anything on Earth, pretty much, almost anything on Earth. Sorry. So yeah, that's expensive. So what I'm using here is Scar with the old power. I guess I should have put another like picture on for him. Really, Scar with the old power. He can fight like a mad Green Scar Hulk. To the point where he like negs Red She-Hulk like during the fight as well, and like she's just an afterthought to him. But the reason I have Red Hulk above is like it honestly depends on if Scar uses the old power or not. Because if he doesn't, then Red Hulk beats his ass, because Red Hulk beat Savage Hulk like 4 times when he first pulled up, like straight up just 4 times. And again, like, this guy is mid, and that isn't Red Hulk as his strongest either. Like, he gets stronger, because like, and the way this happens is, so he meets the Cosmic Hulk robot with him and A-Bomb, this dude Rick Jones, basically go to this like laboratory / vault, and the Cosmic Hulk robot is there, pretty much just like in stasis. And if you don't know what the Cosmic Hulk robot is, it's basically this like robot designed by Galactus to go about planets and like drain energy and then go back to him and give him the energy. And it should disguise itself as like whatever like fauna it encounters on the planet. It saw Hulk pretty much when it first pulled up and just like disguised itself as Hulk and just never like turned back. But anyway, they go to this vault, see it, Red Hulk goes to touch it, and it absorbs like a sliver of his energy from him, and it just like ragdolls both of these dudes, like knocks them both out. And Banner even says like, yeah, he's probably not. It was probably not even at full power. And then later on during World War Hulks, Red Hulk, after getting like stabbed through like the chest, like it's straight up like hole through his like fucking pectoral muscle. And then he's like fighting like the hulked out heroes as well, so like hulked out Thor, hulked out Storm, hulked out Thing, all these people, hulked out Cyclops, all these guys. He walks out of the helicarrier and he's stated to be like mentally weak and mentally and physically exhausted, and then Red She-Hulk absorbs the energy from him and he turns back into Ross. And then the Cosmic Hulk robot pulls up again and is about to like crush him, and then he's able to siphon off some of the energy, and then he's able to tear it in half. Now, upon looking back at this, I realised, okay, well during this time, just like as he's like getting crushed by the Cosmic Hulk robot, he's also kind of having like like flashbacks as to why he became Red Hulk in the first place. And the reason he wanted to do that is to basically kill the Hulk. That's why he became a Hulk, to beat Hulk. Like, he became the monster to beat the monster. But before this, he pretty much like had just forgotten about that. He was just fiending, going around beating up everyone else. Like, he hadn't like fully focused on killing the Hulk. Once he does that, he becomes stronger, and we know that Gamma Mutates, the powers of Gamma Mutates are mainly reliant on their psychology. So the fact that he pretty much just gets a resolve amp, and he's massively stronger than he originally was, to the point where he can just tear apart someone that was pretty much folding him and someone else at the same time before. So that happens, and then he fights Green Skull Hulk, and then I think he just like kind of just reverts back into like the state he was before, maybe even a bit weaker, because of like he just starts helping the Avengers and whatnot. So yeah, these two, a bit of a toss up. If he uses the all power, he just straight stomp. In fact, he's probably there with the all power, but if not, then he's like pretty soundly there, maybe even there. But I'll put him there for now. Okay, next we have hulked out Thor, hulked out Bucky Barnes or Winter Soldier, the original hulked out Wolverine, and I'd say A-Bomb. Let me see if I can get on in the chat. Alright. Abomination kicking Hulk into a building was an undefeated striking feat in my opinion, which they did most of. Yeah, he sends him fucking flying when he does that shit. It's pretty wild, actually. How would you compare Blonsky to other super soldiers like Cap, Bucky, and US Agent? He has a better teeny factor. He recovered in a few hours. He spent 3 days and recovered in India. Oh man, it's weird because like, okay, wait, Blonsky hit by the Stark Sonic cannons was character building higher than what? Okay, I mean, if that's the case, then he probably is stronger. It all depends on where I think you scale Cap and Bucky and those guys too, because Bucky with his arm should definitely be stronger. Like his cybernetic arm and vibranium arm, but like straight up like natural, like act like body to body. I mean, if that's the case, like again, it depends on where you scale them, because I know some people have them at city block, some people have them at town, some people try to scale them to country level. But I think if you have them at building, then yeah, you can probably say that Blonsky's a bit better. At least if you pound for pound with the super soldier serum, he probably is better. At least like consistently, I guess, because he's able to like evade multiple attacks from the Hulk, like he's outmaneuvering and all that shit. He's got a better regen factor. And I know that was with like they only gave him a small dose originally, and then they give him another one after that, I think. Blonsky getting hit by the oh yeah, I may have already read that. So okay, so back to the list. So these guys, he fights Red Hulk, like an exhausted, like an injured Red Hulk. Red Hulk's doing fine. He also off guards base Sky, and then Sky negs him with the old power. So again, like I think probably same tier, but not all that. Not the same. Now Wolverine. Actually, no, I'm gonna put him a tier below. Yeah, sure. I'll put him in the same tier. The Wolverine, he's able to. It's funny because he's able to damage people with his claws, even though it's stated that like he lost his adamantium and got his bone claws back. Him and these two Blonsky fight. Not Blonsky, sorry. Bucky fight. And he like wins like outright. A-Bomb, he isn't really like. I mean, he fights Lyra and She-Hulk at the same time, like these two, and doesn't really do much outside of that. Like he kind of clashes with Red Hulk for a bit and then gets his ass kicked. But I'd probably say he's like there maybe. Like individually, you can beat him, but Lyra also wasn't as calm as she can, because when she's super calm, she could pretty much just use this like pretty much also almost like Gamma Ultra Instinct, where she can just see all the Gamma in the universe, and she pretty much just uses it to like act as make her a better fighter. Like she just like shits on Ares when she's using it. And Ares, he can like somewhat fight Sentry. I wouldn't say as good as Red Hulk was during Hulk smashes Avengers, but I'd probably put him back there. Probably there, because she shits on him where Scar's like Scar and Ares are equal, but again reliant on the old power. So yeah, I think this is alright so far. Alright, more tiers. Oh, H. Okay, Sasquatch is odd, because I was looking at his stuff earlier, and there's basically when he appears in Immortal Hulk, he isn't in control of his body for the most part. When he has like the feats of beating up like an angry Devil Hulk, it's pretty much like Brian Banner in control of him, and that's stated multiple times. And then Al Ewing was like, yeah, because Walter was never in that like Hulk mindset, he couldn't like access a majority of like the strength that he had, whereas like Brian has he has more knowledge on how to access that kind of side to him, and he has no issue going into that like dark side either. But on his own, he fights Amadeus Cho Hulk. But from what I read in like the Champions run, Cho negged him. But then there's a like page in Immortal Hulk where Walter's talking to Carol, and she's like, "Yeah, you've been getting a bit more aggressive lately." When we've like gone into fights, and there's like a panel where he's like hitting a Hulk in the face, like spurging out on him, and it looks like I didn't know if it was actually Cho or Banner, because Cho had like the dark purple and black pants on, and then his hair's like a certain way. Whereas like in this, it was like his hair's similar, but it was just like dark purple pants, like, you know, standard Hulk. But I looked it up, and it was Cho. But again, like on panel, Cho actually negs him like an actual fight. But I guess if you do go with him beating Cho up, I mean, at the time it was probably like a calm Cho, and calm Cho is not very impressive, but at the same time he is holding back a lot. So this like it's very much like, okay, well, where is he at, kind of thing. But I would say, if you wanna, because he does get a bit angry when he overpowers Sasquatch in the Champions Run. So again, if you want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's there, then I would probably say he's probably about there. If he's like angry. Again, psychology is very very important when determining Hulk placements. Oh, brother. Okay, so we've got the Overseer and... Oh, actually, no. Oh, I won't put that dude on that yet. Who else we got? We got Rhino. We got Spider... another version of... We got... So this Spider Hulk was from another universe. This Spider Hulk is 616 Peter. And then we got Base She-Hulk, Hulk, Doc Samson, American Kaiju, and this dude, US Red Hulk, and then we've got Ravage as well. I guess put Moisture on there, even though he's technically a Hulk persona. So if you want to use great power Spider-Man, he's not impressive at all. I think he's probably just above Rhino. He doesn't really do anything other than like stagger thing. But if you want to use World War Hulk's Spider-Man, I'd probably put him there. Because he's still he's still able to take attacks from like this Thor and whatnot. But yeah, I'll probably, because it's the picture of great power. Hulk as Spider-Man, I'll put him there. Next up we have I'd probably say Maestro. Maestro's probably there. I need to make some more tears. Okay. Alright, so let me think. These guys pretty much I have almost no scaling. Like, they just the only thing he pretty much did that makes him stand out is he beat American Kaiju. What did American Kaiju do? He beat a couple of the symbiote dragons in during the King in Black event, but they scale all over the place already, so I'll leave them off for now, just so it's easy to determine. Hulk, this dude sucks. He got killed by a bunch of spears. And then I'd say it was those two, and then I would say Doc Samson is there because he's able to fight a quote unquote relaxed or calm Hulk. And then Ravage Hulk, same situation where he can beat up a kind of standard Hulk, and then as soon as Hulk got angry, he just kicked his ass. I mean, you can put in there if you want, but being as this guy only fought classic Hulk, Savage Hulk, he would be above because he stated above. Well, he beats up Professor Hulk, and Professor Hulk is stronger than Savage Hulk base for base. Okay, She-Hulk. She-Hulk, oh my god. So, she is all over the place. So, she got her ass kicked by Superior Hulk in Devil's Reign. And there's a panel where, like, she's fighting Abomination. Or not a panel, a page where she's fighting Abomination. And with Abomination's one hand, it takes her both of her hands to, like, hold back. And she's still getting overpowered. But then, as of recent, so this is that like Devil's Reign and this other a feat that I'm going to mention are both post World War She-Hulk from the Jason Aaron's Avengers run, where she pretty much goes world breaker and like absorbs this gamma bomb and whatnot. Now, there's I forgot what the run's called, but it's just like basically spin-off Avengers run where it's just a bunch of like villain of the day beefs, you know, rather than this big interconnected story kind of thing. And they're fighting. There's this one, I think it's issue 2, where her and the Avengers are fighting Doom. But basically, what happened is like Doom had been split into 2 parts: a good version and a bad version. And the bad version was pretty much like he'd beaten Thor. Base Thor, he wasn't using the Odin Force. He'd beaten, I think, Captain America, Iron Man, and he'd beaten his good self, I think. And then She-Hulk comes in, and they're like, "Oh my god!" There's a guy narrating, and the guy narrating's like, "Oh yeah, her strength is like rising to that of the Hulk, and she can apply the strength like more strategically because like, she's a better fighter and whatnot." And then she just gets shit on by Doom. Like the guy's narrating thinks she's gonna beat him, and then she just gets shit on. And the guy narrating is the Beyonder, because the Beyonder is basically coming back, or has come back now. But if you want to use like, okay, well she's a strength rising to that of the Hulk, I don't know, man, because like it's kind of fucked. But I mean, because like she never really expels all that gamma radiation at the end of Aaron's run. It's more so like she gets like it under control. If you want to use that and say she's just as strong, then she'd be like there. But again, she gets slammed by both of these dudes. It's a bit of a sticky one still. I'd probably just probably like separate these 2 tiers. Maybe put Weapon H above, and just put these guys in a tier below. Really, let me oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. It's probably better like that. And then these 2 are just should be stronger than Captain Marvel, so similar, you know. Does normal 616 She-Hulk beat Ultimate Hulk? Yeah, she does. She beats his ass. Even if you use the comic where Ultimate Hulk fought Doc Green, she still beats his ass because Doc Green isn't that impressive. Doc Green's like this tier, E tier, and obviously all these characters get stronger. So, okay, American Kaiju and US Red Hulk, Robert Maverick. These 2 are like pretty much unscalable as far as I'm concerned. They're a bit fucked. So I'll just leave them. But this is the cheap version of the leader. Ignore that. And then you have basically Norman Osborn when he turned himself into an adaptoid, a super adaptoid. He absorbed Red Hulk's gamma radiation. I'd probably put him like here because it's like Red Hulk after he became an Avenger. So it's not that impressive. But yeah, that's the list, bruh. That's the Gamma Mutates list. Now, I'm gonna ask y'all right now. Well, let me go through actually. See if you got any questions. Any questions? Because I know, so I did the top before some people joined. So, any questions in chat, I'll answer them. If not, let me know if you guys would want me to add, because I can go through all of it if you want. I don't mind. I ain't going anywhere at the moment, so, but I can fill the rest of this in if you want. What's Maestro's best feat? Maestro? Okay, so Maestro, he's a bit all over the place. I mean, if you use main, so he has multiple appearances, but a lot of the appearances after are just him from alternate universes. He pulls up to him and a version of Old Man Logan pull up to Savage Hulk and Wolverine in a comic. And then they get sent back to the timeline they came from, and it's like a timeline where Red Hulk is actually became president, and obviously that doesn't happen in the original Future Imperfect timeline. But if you use the Future Imperfect timeline, his best feat is beating up Professor Hulk. So, yeah. However, well, actually, I mean, so who was it who said this? I think it was Al Ewing. He was he wrote Kansas City Champions, the comic run, and that Maestro now is the one from the game. And he pretty much says that he wrote it to be like Peter David's Maestro. Peter David's the guy who wrote the original Maestro. And okay, so the original Maestro reaches the strongest he'd been in the second issue of Future Imperfect, where he fights Professor Hulk for the first time. He's like, "Yeah, I'm stronger than ever." So that's his peak. And they say afterwards that he was never as dangerous in a guide. Now, as dangerous can mean a lot of things, but okay. So first of all, let's kind of rule out what it could mean. So, equipment, right? He doesn't use any equipment in any other run. His intelligence is one thing that makes him dangerous, but he doesn't get stupider. He retains his intelligence. So to me, it just means his physical strength. Because basically, what happens is he gets sent. He fights Professor Hulk, beats him, and then fights him again, and he's beating his ass. But then, Bruce basically tricks him into stepping onto Doom's time machine, and then he sends him back to ground zero of the original gamma bomb explosion. And he gets basically atomized by it. And he's the particles of him are just there in the current timeline. I forgot what issue though. I think the arc's called Ghosts of the Past, and he basically goes to no, not volume 3, I think it's volume 2. Bruce goes back to the the El Diablo site, which is where the bomb went off. And him being there basically allows Maestro. Oh, no data. This stream will end shortly. Oh god. Oh. Okay, let me speedrun this. I might have to restart the stream because it's saying some weird shit. But anyway, him being there basically amps a Maestro enough to like somewhat come back, but he's weakened. And then his soul jumps into the Destroyer armor, and then like Hulk's soul and his soul fight for control of it, and Hulk's soul beats his. But basically, what I'm saying is that Maestro was never as strong as he was in what's it called, in Future Imperfect issue 2. But then, if you want to say the one in the Contest of Champions is the same one from Future Imperfect, he doesn't get. I don't think he gets physically stronger, but he gets like armor, like Iron Man armor. He gets Captain America's shield. He gets like the Arvagan motor. He gets all this equipment. And then he gets ISO 8, which is like the primordial energy to make like universes and shit. And he gets like all of it, and he becomes like super powerful. But then he fights Blue Marvel with that. Blue Marvel's kind of able to send him flying. He gets jumped by like five symbiotes that have the power of Sentry each at the same time, and he gets beaten up by them. So he's not all that really, even with ISO 8. So sorry if that disappointed. Yeah, I mean I can add like some more if you want, guys. I don't mind. Did you like the actual numbers? So the thing is, I haven't played the RE4 remake. I've seen gameplay of it and it looks really good, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. But I think I've seen some people saying they need to go back and remake 1 and 0 first. Remake 1 again and remake 0 as well, just so like all the games are remade then for like a modern audience, rather than go and remake RE5. But yeah, I think they should remake Code Veronica, because Code Veronica was like they wanted Code Veronica to originally be Resident Evil 3, which makes sense, you know, because Code Veronica is the meeting of Chris and Claire, and the whole thing was that Claire in Resident Evil 2 was looking for her brother Chris. In the comics, she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fly to I think it's Europe and find Chris." So Code Veronica would have been like the perfect, you know, meet-up point. But there was some shit going on behind the scenes at Capcom, where some people wanted 3, some people wanted Code Veronica as like the titular title, and obviously 3 beat it out, and that's what we have now. And I think that probably played a part into why the 3 remake wasn't as good as the Resident Evil 2 remake. Whereas obviously now, look at Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 remake is probably the best remake out of the bunch, but he's also like one of the best remakes ever. Period. So, or would you say Dark Souls Chronicles are enough? Nah, I think you need to do a Code Veronica remake. I think that'd be solid. MC Hawk ever becomes World Breaker because of him high jump size. Yeah. I mean, the highest he's jumped is, I think it's what's it called? I'd imagine it's Ragnarok. It's both the 2 different scenes of Ragnarok. The one where he jumps up in the stadium to KO Thor at the end of their fight in the Gladiator Arena, and when he jumps from the Rainbow Bridge to the Sicarian refugee ship after Thor and Valkyrie fight Hela. So it's probably one of them 2. I can't really think of another instance. Yeah, maybe Age of Ultron, where he jumps into the helicarrier. Not the helicarrier, the Quinjet. What happened to like the Beast Hulk in Endgame? I thought he was another being. Did he just So what Banner says is like he took the brains and the brawn and mixed them together, which is like what the original explanation for Professor Hulk was in the comics. But it does seem that like it's just Banner basically in control of the Hulk's body. So either like he's just eliminated, because the thing is as well is like when the Ancient One knocks Bruce Banner's soul out of Hulk's body in Endgame, Hulk's body the body just goes limp. Like there's no other like kind of entity in there. Whereas like Bruce is obviously, you know, he's the only entity that like gets shot out of it as well. I know one of my friends was like, man, when she did that, I was expecting Hulk to just go on like a mindless rampage, because you know technically that would be like bannerless Hulk, but nah, they didn't go with that. So I don't know. I'd imagine they'll say that like Bruce has Hulk quote unquote locked up in the trunk, because I know that's how Bruce describes his experience. I think it's in Ragnarok where he's like, yeah, it felt like I was locked in the trunk by Hulk for like the majority for all my time on Sakaar, which is why he was able to like, you know, kind of like assert control like he's normally used to. Being as there's like still 4 people here, I will. Do I want to? I'll add Hulk Wolverine. He's at weapon edge level. There you go. And then you have like this is Red Hulk with the power of, I think he has power of the Ghost Rider, and I think he has the symbiote. So he should just be about like here. Both of these Maestros, they're bums. Like again, this guy has like extra equipment. The Overseer is pretty much described as Maestro, but like not insane. And he does have a Cosmic Cube, but the issue is that Cosmic Cubes vary in power. So I'd say like based on strength, he's like the same. These two should be above this one. And if you want to say, because I think because Sentry was scared of him. And the Sentries were capable, like the Sentry symbiotes, were capable of fighting Blue Marvel, and Blue Marvel should be around like this tier. I think it should be about like here. So if you want to say like there. Oh shit. So I've already put these guys in the same tier. Yeah, I think that'll probably be it for now. I mean, if y'all want to see, let me finish it off. Then let me know. But yeah, I think for now it should be alright. I'll put Titan on here just because, even though he's technically a Hulk persona now, he was treated as like a separate entity as well. Again, Banner's like, yeah, if these two fight, they'll destroy everything. So next to each other, and then Luther Ignos Hulk is like war level, and he has better feats than this one. So I'll put him on as well. But I mean, most of them are just like the comic ones are pretty much easy to etch out, but like a lot of these other like media ones, like the MC Hulk variants, along with like MC Abomination, MC She-Hulk, I just treat them as I like to say country levels are good basis for them, and I pretty much just like have it like this. Like She-Hulk is relative to Smart Hulk. Smart Hulk can't really do anything to Abomination, but like this should be like Calm Hulk level, pretty much. And then obviously Spoke Hulk. You know what? Let's go ahead and add them anyway. So we start with. I'm trying to think. Yeah, let's start with the MCU version. So I mean, there should be like these guys should be like at least Universal, and then you have like the two Spider-Man, like Rhino and Spider-Hulk. Oh my god. Bruh. Okay. I can't fucking see my keyboard. Yeah, so these guys should be at the very bottom, all level. Now, if you want to say, I'll go with like above town for these guys. I think city level's probably a good kind of metric, and in that case, Ang Lee Hulk is the same tier. And then you have oh brother. These guys, country level. Where is he? These guys also count count at country level, and so are these guys. But I'll put these at the bottom. And I'll put these above. So these Hulks, this is like look, Dark Magic Amped Hulk, and this is like the standard Hulk from the Midnight Suns game. And these two, Abomination and Hulk, are from the Avengers game. Ultimate Hulk, in my Ultimate Hulk video, I have him at like country level. I am now aware of higher scaling for him. Again, if you think he's used the Doc Green sheet, he should be about here. But I don't. But I think country level is still fine for him. I'm going to put him there. What we got next? We got Avengers Assemble, like Hulk and Red Hulk. So the way this goes is, this is base Hulk, and he's pretty much treated like Green Scar is in the comics, where he's like basically Hulk, but has like a decent level of, like, he doesn't get angry that very much. Like he gives a speech in one of the episodes where like the rest of the Avengers turn into Hulks, similar to the speech that Superman gives in Justice League Unlimited, where he's like, yeah, you know, I basically live in a world of cardboard, so I have to be very, very careful about how much power I output. And Hulk says a similar thing. But then he goes like, he like beats like Hulk. Like the reason why the Avengers turn into Hulks and they're in danger of basically going wall breaker, like going like this. And Thor hulks out and starts to go like this at the end, and Hulk beats his ass. Like this Hulk beats his ass. Yeah, Forrest, I agree. Country level to multi-continental, good range. I mean, it's the same with these guys, basically. But I mean, we can put them higher if they have like a decent range. I might have to make another tier, actually. Another 2 tiers. Put all these guys above. And this goes down. Okay, so basically what the cascading is like, as a baseline, base Red Hulk is below base that, and then he gets angrier. And this is basically Hulk, just like Red Hulk, basically just like amped up on a fuckload of gamma. And he's like fucking huge. And then this is same for Hulk, and they go back and forth. And then this Hulk is basically like, he has the appearance of Claire from the comics. But it's like this Hulk after he absorbs Red Hulk's gamma radiation, and he like gets a lot bigger. And like his skin tone like looks like armor. But all these guys are like the like Thor in this verse and this Hulk have like calcs to scale to planet level pretty much. Lego Hulk. The scaling for Lego Hulk is a bit iffy because they never really fight. But if you think that he scales to Thanos, and Thanos has like a statement of like being able to, I think he's like destroy or survive like planetary explosions pretty much. Like ones that actually destroy planets. Superhero Squad Hulk, I don't actually know. The scanning for that shit's all over the place. Now we have Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Oh, I'll put this version in as well. Earth's Mightiest Heroes Hulks. So it should be about Dwarf Star level. There's a Calconverse World Wiki that puts him at Dwarf Star level. And then you have like, I explained this in my original Hulk tier list video, where they pretty much say that in the Hulk versus movies are pretty much in Yost versus canon, which is the same version of like versus like Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Wolverine and the X-Men, Spectacular Spider-Man should be in the same verse, and sort of Thor Tales of Asgard. But they pretty much just say that like Hulk considers him a threat. It's like, yeah, this dude is just like too much to stay in my realm, pretty much. So she like throws him out. Yeah, they should all be like Dwarf Star level. Being as like, I mean, like Thor can still somewhat hurt this Hulk. So the same tier. Oh, okay. I'll just put basically this fucking ass, like Bruce Banner beats him up. Like regular ass Bruce Banner. Let's put him like there. I'll just put question mark. So, and then what's the game? There, Monster from the Avengers game. Alright, so now we have the rest of the comic version. So, I mean, it should be pretty, I want to say pretty simple, but it's not really. So, Professor Hulk sub-Maestro, but can still hurt him. Again, Joe Fixit, it's very much a case of West Classic Savage Hulk. So these two have lower baselines than Professor Hulk, but Professor Hulk is limited by how angry he can get because he has the limiter on him. But these two obviously aren't. So they have the potential to surpass these two, but I mean realistically, it should be about like there. Somewhere like that. But I'll put him there because, like, Professor Hulk isn't that effective as a fighter. And then you have what's it called? Oh my god, Zombie Hulk is a straight ass, but I'll get into him in a second. So, Unipower Hulk. The Unipower is, you know, meant to be OP, but there's a statement in a guide that says that the power that the user manifests depends on how, like, their imagination. And then it's just like for example, when Spider-Man had it, he was like on the same level as like a holding back Joe Fixit, pretty much. And there's a statement for that, and obviously in the comic itself, Joe Fixit's like, yeah, always holding back, and Spider-Man never actually knocks him out. Like, he punches him into the orbit, but he never actually, like, KOs him. Well, there's a statement in the God that, like, yeah, he's Hulk level with that. So Hulk, with the unit power, should just be like, he should have better, like I don't want to say better hacks, really. But he should just be, like, a vaguely stronger than Savage Hulk on a baseline, but still have the ability to get stronger. Okay, who do we have next? This Hulked out in Immortal Hulk. Weapon H fights both of these dudes at the same time, and they say that, like, they're not holding back, but, like, they're just spurging out. Like, one of the good things about Devil Hulk is, well, okay, so this dude is, like, a good fighter. That's one of the reasons he was chosen to be Weapon H. One of the things that makes Devil Hulk so lethal is, like, how intelligent he is. But I'll just put him there, even though, as we see in base, Devil Hulk, like, kind of shits on this dude. So next we got this guy. This guy. Bloody hell. This guy. And this guy. Zombie Hulk got one shot by a 1610 thing. Dude was sort of like, yep, you're right. And him and a bunch of the other zombie heroes are, like, getting held off by Magneto in that verse. So yeah, they are assets, which is funny because Zombie Hulk in, well, Hulk in the zombie universe, he's like, they for some reason treat him as, like, that dude. Like, I'm pretty sure he's the one that kills Silver Surfer. He one-shots Thanos, and I'm pretty sure he fights Dark Phoenix, like zombie Dark Phoenix as well. Alright, so when, like, he breaks out from the leader's, like, Mindscape trap, and he should be stronger than the one that fights this bitch, but I mean, it's odd because she does, like, beat his ass pretty bad. But I would say that just because, like, this is just, like, a big power up. Like, he increases in size, and, like, Bruce Banner's like, oh yeah, I haven't seen this angry since we were kids or some shit. And then you have the fact that and what is it? I can't remember what to say. Whatever. Yeah, I think she's just pretty much limited to, like, when I say calm, I use the term loosely because, like, Hulk's base is very flip-floppy. Now, this is like Hulk after he's absorbed one of Nyx's shards. Oh, Devil Hulk after he's absorbed one of Nyx's shards, and he himself says that he's, like, stronger than ever, which would include when he was like, because obviously anger and power correlate for Hulk. So because Bruce has the statement of, haven't seen him this angry since, he got his what's it called? Brian was, like, beating their asses as kids. That would include that, so I'll put him above that based on that. Okay, so Savage Hulk during the Immortal Hulk run, and Sunshine Joe. Sunshine Joe backscales from Savage Hulk, but he's just definitely weaker, but I would put him like that, pretty much just because Savage Hulk and what's it called? Devil Hulk are kind of interchangeable. Like, he's stronger than Devil Hulk in the day. But it's also like, if Devil Hulk gets too angry, he can pretty much take control. And then some sort of backscales. What else we got? Okay, this is just like Venomized Savage Hulk during Absolute Carnage. You can go here or here, it doesn't really matter. I'll just put him there though. Who else we got? Alright, what did these two dudes? No, not these two. Starship Hulk and Mjolnir. Starship Hulk, pretty much. So, here are my thoughts on this. I would say that Starship Hulk. So, Starship Hulk does work worse than Unrestricted Savage Hulk against Thulk. And then Unrestricted Savage Hulk should be stronger than anything we see from Starship Hulk, pretty much. Because Unrestricted Savage Hulk pretty much goes World Breaker, and Starship Hulk never does that. So, but I would probably put him. Actually, let me do this. Like that. And just do SS. Easy dub. The thing is, I think we're gonna have to make more tiers, bruh, because you have. I'm just gonna put this version in. I mean, at most he's like I'm not gonna say he backscales from Ultimate Hulk, because Ultimate Hulk is just massively, well, not massively, but pretty definitively stronger than Ultimate Thing. And that's after, like, he'd been jumped by, like, 2 versions of the Squadron Supreme plus some of the Ultimates. And then the only way they beat him is, like, Invisible Woman puts, like, a force field dome around his head so he can't breathe, and that helps things like KO him. And then he just gets shit on by things. So I'm just going to put him in question mark, because, like, it's just that unknown, pretty much. Okay, so like I said before, Doc Green, again, completely depends on where you put these guys. Let me move this around. Again, old power. I'm just going to use Scar with the old power. If he's got the old power, he's there. And that's pretty obvious. Doc Green, he was basically scared to fight. Not scared, but like, he pretty much didn't think he could beat Red Hulk in a straight up fight if Red Hulk had his absorption powers. So yeah, and then like he like maxed, like not maxed, but very high diff beats Red Hulk after he's lost him. Where is? So this is post Sakaar Savage Hulk. So the Savage Hulk that appears after World War Hulk. Now, funny enough, he is stronger than World War Hulk himself, because he's able to fight Red Hulk pretty decently, I'd say. And basically, Red Hulk, when he first appeared, he pretty much fought. Who was it? He fought basically the New Avengers, which is pretty much Tony Stark, Miss Marvel, Wonder Man, Ares, and Sentry all together, and Red Hulk beat them all and got away. And then Bruce Banner's like, yeah, you won't be able to like get him. Basically, you won't be able to like restrain him and shit. And there's an interview where like the writer for that comic said that they were going all out against Red Hulk at that point. And the reason why this is more impressive than the World War Hulk stuff, at least before he goes to World Breaker, is because the Sentry that World War Hulk fights is mentally unstable, whereas like Sentry is relatively stable when he's with Tony Stark, because there's a statement in one of the Marvel guides that when he has like people pretty much counselling him and giving him a sense of direction, that he becomes less likely to be unstable and should be more calm, reasonable, and stable. And obviously Tony Stark would have been off from that kind of stuff. Also, Sentry pulls up to him in I think it's issue 6 or 7 of the 2008 Hulk run, when he's in Las Vegas fighting with a Wendigo. Sentry, Miss Marvel, and Moon Knight pull up against this Savage Hulk, and he's definitely stronger than World War Hulk was, at least like in the midway point of World War Hulk, because World War Hulk was somewhat being affected by Sentry's aura, but like Savage Hulk used to like just be blatantly affected by it passively, and then this is like he's just able to just like neg it. And even though Sentry doesn't seem like he wants to fight him, he's still like, yeah, you know, I don't. If you're not going to put innocence in danger, then I'll have to oppose you, pretty much. And then there's a comic where he's in the desert. Oh wait, no. In that same comic, Hulk turns into a Wendigo, pretty much, and Miss Marvel's like, he was like our best shot at beating these things, which would include Sentry. So all that, I mean, he should pretty much be like here. Like he's pretty definitively like above these dudes. And then Claire's weird, because like when Hulk transforms into Claire, that was like Doc Green. So best he like be there, in my opinion. Like he has nothing else. So, oh my god, I'm gonna have to make another tier, I think. I think if we move all these guys up, like this. Oh wait, no, not that. Like this. First of all, I'll move Joe, fix it down. Because he's strong. He's stronger than like base classic Savage Hulk. Joe Fix is like a lot weaker than that's the same Savage Hulk. So okay. During the Onslaught saga, Onslaught pretty much like mentally fucks with Hulk into switching out into multiple of his personas, which includes Professor Hulk. And Professor Hulk doesn't think that he would be enough to fight Onslaught, so he like gets Jean Grey to switch off the Banner side of him, pretty much like the thing that's holding him back. And then Mindless Hulk pretty much goes from being relative to Onslaught to like a one-shot gap, right? And then right after that, like the comic where they split off, what the hell is it? Bannerless Hulk is stated to be stronger than ever. However, there is a like editor statement that this Hulk can't get angrier. I mean, can't get stronger the angrier he gets, pretty much. So he's stuck. Even though he's stronger, he's stuck at that level. So really, Mindless Hulk should be stronger. Or like should be above, just because he has the capability of getting stronger. And then you have War. War is just like an amped up Bannerless Hulk. And then this like Heroes Reborn Hulk fights Bannerless Hulk as well. And then last but not least, you have Null. Post World War Hulk Green Scar. And What If Hulk when he has like the power cosmic. So this should, oh my god. So what I would say is that these guys are like pretty much just like here. So World War Hulk, stronger than ever, or angrier than ever, and stronger than ever, so stronger than these guys, has the power cosmic. I'd put him above these guys. Null is so weird, because what happens is that the Hulk that Hammer possesses is Green Scar, like it's after, chronologically in the Marvel Universe timeline, it's after the Incredible Hulk's run. However, there's a guide statement that the angrier Hulk gets, the harder it is to control him mentally. Even for himself, he's harder to control. So, but when Hulk finds the hammer, he's like calm because he's just been chilling with She-Hulk, like on a honeymoon-esque type adventure. So the hammer pretty much possesses a calm Green Scar. And that is like about it, really. Like, that shouldn't be very impressive, because the moment he gets like, there's an opening for him to realise that he's been possessed, he gets like, he overpowers Null pretty much, mentally, and like kicks him out and like destroys the hammer. So at best, I would say that like it's a bit fucked, because again, base, like a casual Green Scar, shit on this dude. But I mean, like, if you want to say they're there, yeah, again, like it's fucked. There is a statement in the Defenders run after this where like Null, the actual spirit of the hammer, has like physically emerged. He's running about that. Hulk says that like he has all his power and his rage and his strength and all that, but the thing about Green Scar Hulk is he knows how to control that, because he has the training from Heroin that he got pre-World War Hulk, and we even know that he gets better at it later on, because obviously in World War Hulk he can't control himself when he goes World Breaker, but then we see in Incredible Hulk that he can. So you would have gotten better at managing his anger and whatnot. And we know that it's easy for him to learn new management techniques, because when Hiram's teaching him how to control it on the way to Earth, he pretty much says that you're mastering like these alien anger management techniques pretty effortlessly. So yeah, just because you have all the strength doesn't mean you know how to use it. So I would say that, like, again, same tier, bruv. And then this is just like, just Green Scar in general, like after World War Hulk. World War Hulk Green Scar would be like above Claire, I'd say, because I don't think you can quantify how strong Claire is, other than just being stronger than Doc Green. So I'll probably put him down here. Yeah, that's alright. But yeah, Green Scar, Hulk's probably there. I would make another tier, but I'll be honest, I can't really be bothered. Yeah, that's everything, bro. Look at that list. Pretty good. Now, to the 5 concurrent viewers, have any questions about the list? No questions? Okay, then if there's no questions, then I'm pretty much going to end it here then. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll keep the stream up, I think. I'll just archive it and put it so people can watch it. But yeah, thanks for tuning in to my first ever stream. I'll try and do another one in the future. Maybe I'll do the same another tier list or something. I don't know. Maybe like play some Yu-Gi-Oh or some shit live. While just talking. But yeah. Oh, hold on. Rohan. Is Hulk the strongest Avenger in the MCU? Okay, so there's a statement that Professor Hulk is pretty much the strongest hero or the strongest Avenger in the MCU. The issue is that Captain Marvel also has statements of being the strongest. That would be in her binary mode though, because in base she's like Thor level, and she's like getting overpowered by like crippled out like fuck on Thanos at the start of Endgame. Which is also backed up because they say that the Russos say in the director's commentary for Endgame at the start that specifically when they go to Thanos' like retirement planet, that like Captain Marvel dimensionalizes the Avengers because she's so strong. And they say that she's as strong, if not stronger, than Thor. So that would just be like, okay, in base, she's as strong as Thor, as you see in What If, when she fights Party Thor. And then she's stronger in binary mode. The issue is that we don't know how much stronger she is, because when she fights Thanos at the end of Endgame, she's in binary mode on the battlefield, but Thanos is like super weakened. Like right after that, he can't even like beat down Iron Man. To the point where like he's incapacitated. Like Iron Man's able to like steal the Infinity Gems from him and shoot. And no, that's not. It's a newer model suit that he has on, but it just looks different. Like there's a statement that it's the exact same nanotech, but they just wanted the suit to like look more muscular, which hence why it like looks more like the design looks more like muscles and all that shit. So yeah, same material, just different look. So but yeah, I think he's stronger than Thor, physically at least. Doctor Strange, obviously, he isn't that strong physically. But he has like all the spells and shit. But he varies because it depends on what he uses, because sometimes he gets bit really easily. And then obviously Wanda, even before she became a Scarlet Witch and like kind of like got kicked out condemned about her actions in Multiverse of Madness, she shits on Thanos like when she's super angry in Endgame. And then you have like Mjolnir Captain America. I think Mjolnir Captain America probably depends on what Hulk you're talking about really. If you think it's Professor Hulk, I think he goes a lot lower. But if it's like standard Hulk, I think has the capability of being higher. Just because he just wouldn't get like if Smart Hulk wouldn't get angrier. Because of Banner's reluctance to get angry. Like he thinks it's gratuitous or whatever he says in Endgame when he looks at his older self. So even though he might be physically stronger, he's like just stuck at this level. And he's just gonna get like laid out by any of these dudes above him, pretty much. Whereas like I think Hulk has the capability, because if it's Thor with Stormbreaker has the AP to kill Hulk. But Hulk should also be able to react to that really. Like he reacts to Mjolnir in Avengers. And he reacts to Thor a bunch of times. And Stormbreaker doesn't have an enchantment either. Like you just have to be strong to pick it up. Like that's stated in the art book. So yeah, I think if it's Savage Hulk, he has the capability of being about fourth. I think him and Captain Marvel could be interchangeable. Third or fourth. But other than that, yeah, it's I don't think he's the strongest. Yeah, it's probably him and Captain Marvel really. I think that's fine. People aren't gonna like that, but whatever. But then I guess it depends on how you define strongest, because, you know, I'm just thinking, like, overall, like, just physical stats. Hopefully that answered your question, Rohan. Alright then, if that is actually it, I'm gonna dip. Yeah, it helped, thanks. No problem, dude. Thanks for tuning in, dudes, and I will see you on the next stream. I'll try and schedule it. I will schedule it next time, so people actually know what the fuck's going on, and people know what's happening. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.